Current affairs of 1 year, is it enough? Or should I go behind and read 3 years current affairs? Many of the first timers, they lose their first attempt because they focus exclusively and extensively on current affairs. You know from which sections maximum questions may come. But with current affairs, you can never make a prediction. So here, I will be giving you the do's and don'ts of what to do with your current affair preparation. Alright, hello everyone. Hope you're all doing wonderful today. I'm Nikhil Ram. And many students have been asking me this. Some of our own students, as well as some from the YouTube community. Sir, how to prepare for current affairs? Should I read this newspaper? Or should I refer more than one newspaper? Current affairs of 1 year, is it enough? Or should I go behind and read 3 years current affairs? Multiple questions, so much of confusion. The real reason behind doing this video is many of the first timers, they lose their first attempt because they focus exclusively and extensively on current affairs rather than the conventional subjects. No matter how much ever we try to tell them, focus on the conventional subjects because you know, at least with the conventional subjects like history, geography, polity, economics, science and technology, you know what is the syllabus there. You know from which sections maximum questions may come. But with current affairs, you can never make a prediction. Sometimes it could be sports, sometimes it could be culture, sometimes it could be something so random that you will wonder from which newspaper have they even picked up this news from. So there is no clarity when it comes to current affairs questions, especially in prelims. Students waste a lot of time in current affairs. They end up writing too much of notes or taking down notes, and finally, what is the result? They don't clear prelims. They end up getting frustrated. So here, I will be giving you the do's and don'ts of what to do with your current affair preparation. Without any further delay, let us try to address the very first issue. Is newspaper reading required daily for current affairs? Now, let me be very honest here. Newspaper reading is something which actually everyone should do. Whether you are preparing for a government exam or not, or once you become a district collector, etc., you have to do it. I have heard people telling that once I clear the service, I'll stop reading the paper. Well, can't blame them because you're sitting with newspaper from morning till evening. You will obviously develop an animosity towards the paper. It's quite natural. But having said that, everyone has to read it. Now, read is the key word here. What should you read is the next question. Well, I can tell you what you shouldn't be reading. Political news. News on corruption. You may view this, that is, you can view it from an ethical perspective, which obviously that news article won't cover because it will be talking about, okay, this particular officer did this much, took this much lakhs as bribe, 10 lakhs as bribe. But it will not give you an ethical perspective there. So it is up to you to think why somebody will do that. Somebody who will score very good marks for their interview, somebody who has cracked the service in flying colors, how is it that they end up becoming corrupt few years down the line? That's it. And the chances that you may get a question out of it, okay, maybe you will get one question, that too in ethics paper. But noting down the news or reading down the news is not going to help you. Correct? The amount or the corruption charges, none of that is going to help you in any way. That is the reason why I will tell you, skip the corruption news also. Maybe news on murders. That also you can skip. Sensational murder cases, etc. That also you can skip. Yes, this you can again analyze from a societal angle. Where is the society headed to? Increasing crimes against women, increasing crimes against children. So, if you talk about corruption or murder, a murder being reported or corruption being reported, reading the news per se will not give you any data. Correct? It is not going to tell you what percentage of the central government officers are corrupt or what percentage of all India service officers are corrupt. That data you won't get. That data you will have to Google. What is the percentage of crimes being committed against women, against children? What are the nature of crimes being committed? How many of them are violent in nature? That data you need, not the news per se. What will you definitely collect from the paper? You will read about whatever data is given, that you will collect. What do I mean by data? It could be to do with value of GDP, fiscal deficit, current account deficit, infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, literacy rate, gender inequality, ease of doing business ranking, etc. Any such data, even trade relations, export, import between two countries, all of that. Any hardcore data that is given there, which is very objective in nature, note it down. That you may note it down, because those are values which you will be needing in your GS paper 1, GS paper 2 and GS paper 3. Why? This data is what you need even in your interview board. I can simply say US is one of the largest trade partners of India, but when I say it is the largest export market of India, that is more specific. When I say remittances matters a lot to the Indian economy, that is okay. But when I say more than $100 billion comes to India in the form of remittances, so the Indian diaspora, which is outside India, is the strength of the Indian economy. That is specific. So when you address something, it should be specific to the point. When you utter a point in your interview, or when you write a point in your mains exam, based on data, you should make the interpretation. That is difference between a topper's answer and a general answer written by an aspirant who will not get the interview call. Topper will write the data, based on the data will make the observation. Generalist will write, okay, remittances are very important for the country. A USA is important trading partner of India. What is the value? What is the bilateral trade between USA and India? What are the major products that is being bought from USA to India? What are the major products being bought by USA from India? Getting the point here? What will you definitely not do? You will definitely not take down what is given in the editorial, what is given in the center page. Those big fat articles, whatever are there, that you can skip. Why? That is somebody's opinion. Some random professor, some random politician, some random researcher sitting in some part of the country, they have given their opinion. I can give that opinion. You will be in a position to give that opinion in 6 months. It's an opinion. It's somebody else's opinion. Even editorial, when we talk about it, is somebody else's opinion. So one must understand here, you shouldn't treat it as the ultimate gospel of truth. Oh, this is the ultimate gospel that I was waiting for. No, it is somebody's analysis. That analysis may be right, may be wrong. Because editorial and center page articles, if you generally see, they are generally devoid of facts or data. Most of the time, you will just see random statements with a lot of fancy vocabulary and English words which you know, which probably will make only one person in entire country happy, and that is Shashi Tharoor MP. Other than that, nobody is going to be happy while reading that article, because every few minutes you will have to, probably open up your phone and see, what is this word? Which is this word? What is this word's meaning? You will be wondering. It is just to show that, I can write something very fancifully. And many aspirants break their head over this editorial and center page. Oh my God, this is very important, very important. And when they bring the such articles to me, my first question to them is, this whole article, are you seeing any data being given? It is just opinion after opinion after opinion. Somebody's opinion sitting in some part of the country they have given. They have not validated it with facts or data. Then why are you even bothering to read it? Or in other words, when you visit the center page, this is the general outline. And here some random stuff. This is how it is generally. Correct. The center page. Here you have the editorial. Here again you have the opinion of some random person. Now the point here is, what do you do? As soon as you get it, you will quickly scan through this. Quickly scan through it and see any data is given, any fact is given. When I say a fact, what do I mean by that? Data you understood, correct, values. Fact, when I say, okay, a particular report from the Niti Aayog or RBI has released this particular report. World Bank has released this report. World Health Organization has released such a report. An organization and a report. That is a fact. Note it down. You can get a prelims oriented question there. Data, why? Because we need to interpret whatever analysis we need to make. It should be on the basis of data. You are not finding any data here. You're not seeing any name of an organization. Nothing is given here. Neither even name of any new place. When that is also not given, then what do? You chuck that article. So quickly you should scan through. Data is there, data is there, data is there, no. Fact is there, no. Place name is there, no. Nothing is there, then why are you bothering reading it? Because, again, I will give you the other side of it. Why I am telling you, don't waste your time. Here it is somebody's opinion. What has happened is, people end up giving too much of respect. How do we say it in Hindi? Too much of bhav. To these articles here, they've treated it as the ultimate truth. So if you are reading the Hindu newspaper, and especially when you read the center page articles, if you are preparing for a government exam, what happens is you tend to develop anti-government opinion or sentiments. Which is very, very bad if you are actually aspiring for a government job. Always keep it in mind. The Hindu newspaper is pretty critical about government. That is there. Even though their articles are good, even though their data is accurate, you will never see the Hindu apologizing for giving a wrong data. You can trust the data, the sources given in the Hindu. No doubt about it. When the language is of top-notch quality. But the only catch is what? It is pretty critical of the government. And it always gives the feeling that, oh my God, the country is going to become a dictatorship. The country is about to go to the dogs. This country is gone. The system is totally corrupt. You will get those vibes when you repeatedly read the paper. That is the reason I am telling you, let it be anybody's paper. But you are going to do what? You are going to search for data. You are going to search for facts. You will search for names of a place or a region. Anywhere you read any article. Nothing is there. No fact is there. No data is there. Nothing is there. Chuck it. Opinion, even if I ask you, what is the opinion of the country? You will have a wonderful opinion. Correct. Even you will have a great opinion. Or whatever your opinion is. So, don't try to give this section too much of bhav. Too much of izzat. Too much of respect. Getting the point here? So this is the first thing. Now it is perfectly natural that the next question comes. So should I take down notes? Like I told you, data is given. Data. Some fact is given. Name of a place is given, which is nothing but your map work. These things, to note it down, hardly it will take time. Correct? If I'm actually, I saw some data that is 81 crore people are dependent on the government of India for food under PM Anna Kalyan Yojana. This is all I'm going to write down. How long will it take for me to note this down? Not even 10, maybe 20 seconds. Correct? Not beyond that. 81 crore people are getting ration from the government of India. So that I can note down. What about the lengthy editorials, lengthy discussions? That is a mistake what every student makes when they are first timers. Even some veterans also who have already given their second attempt, third attempt, even they make that blunder. They write down the entire thing, thinking that, oh my God, this language is so nice, because you get attracted. You're not confident about the English language. Even if somebody speaks in front of you, broken English, you will get impressed with it. That is how the human psyche, or rather the Indian psyche, functions. So what do you do then? Or what you should rather not do? Don't ever take down notes from the newspaper other than these three things, because it's a clear waste of time. You start making notes from the newspaper, what happens is your note will become very fat. Within 2 or 3 months, you will have a very thick notebook filled with newspaper articles where you don't know what to connect where. Then the only advantage you're going to get out of this, because anything that you do in life, it'll have a positive effect, it'll have a negative effect. The negative effects are so much waste of time. Your note will become fat and you will end up having n number of notes. Then waste of energy. So time, when I say, there are people who spend 2.5 to 5 hours on newspaper. By the time you finish taking it down, reading it, etc., you are so tired. No more energy for GS subjects. You won't even have the energy even to attend your class. And slowly what will happen is you will end up hating newspaper. You will end up skipping it. You will end up like, enough, I don't want to read it. I don't want to touch current affairs, which is even more dangerous. Because when it comes to prelims, even if one question could be that key, which will help you get inside that mains hall, you may end up losing it. Getting the picture here? So what was the only advantage that I'm talking about? When I talked about so many disadvantages, what is the only advantage that is there? The only saving grace is handwriting. Your handwriting will improve. Definitely, you're writing for 2.5 to 5 hours. When you sit and write, your handwriting will improve. But other than that, you're never going to remember this. You're never going to remember one word what you wrote down. You will write and write every day. And every day you will feel you have done something, but you're literally not doing anything. You're blindly taking down the notes, which is of no use. So, don't do it. Stick to these. Data, fact, place. Enough. Then, editorials and center page, like I told you. Look out for anything useful. Or else, chuck it. Don't waste your time there. Got the point here? Based on data and analysis given, note down the data. No data, no names, nothing useful. Skip it completely. You won't lose out on anything. Getting the point here? Moving on. So, next question that comes automatically is, let us say I am reading the newspaper. Then should I read monthly current affair compilation? Absolutely yes. Because daily you're only taking down the facts. You may be reading the news. Say for example, Iran, Israel, USA, triangular love story. It is going on since a few weeks. Now it will go after another 3-4 weeks, some new update will happen. Another 3-4 weeks, some new update will happen. So every day, some changes happening to the whole relationship, little by little, which you will not connect, or you won't understand the difference, because every day when you read it, you won't understand the small changes that are happening. Got the point here? Where will you get the complete idea? At the end of the month. Because they would have compiled everything, where they would have avoided the repetitive information. So some days what happens is, if you're reading the newspaper continuously, you will understand that some issues, when we talk about, it is getting repeated. What they reported yesterday, today they have again wrote it in some passive voice or reported speech, etc. That's it. It is the same thing with some update here and there. So what do you do then? You read the monthly current affair compilation just so that you get the whole picture now. Entire 1 month what has happened. It helps in consolidation of events of 1 month, which is very important from mains perspective. It will also contain those news articles which are important from prelims perspective. Maybe it could be name of a species from environment perspective, or maybe it could be some new innovation under science and technology, some disease, some technology, or it could be something important from defense perspective. All that will come over there. So reading the monthly current affair compilation is nothing but what? It just gives you a complete consolidation of whatever has happened in a month. So how to go about this? So your average monthly current affair compilation, if you see, it is anywhere between, let us say, 120 to 150 pages. Correct? This is June month. That means most of the academies out there would have already released their current affair compilation for May month. So May month current affair, May 2025, 120 to 150 pages already released. What do? You read anywhere between 10 to 15 pages per day. Again, golden rule is read. If it is the soft copy, or even if it is hard copy, either highlight, if you're reading it through Adobe, or underline. If it is a proper printed copy, underline just the important points. Keywords, just underline them. So 10 to 15 pages per day means easily within 10 or 12 days, you will finish reading entire May month. Then what do? You take another 3-4 days to revise it. Because June month's current affair will only come by July end. Till that you have time to read May month current affair at least 3 to 4 times. 3 to 4 times when you keep reading May month, what happens? News consolidation becomes so thorough. Prelims oriented points, you will remember it again and again. Each time when you revisit the May month current affair, the time taken will come down from 1 hour, or from 2 hours, it will come down to 1 hour, from 1 hour, half an hour. Then by the 5th or 6th reading, it is 15 minutes. Because you will start recollecting, this, I know. Then wait till the June month comes. Getting the point here. So, the earlier you start with current affairs, the better. Ideally, when you say for prelims preparation or generally for UPSC preparation, we say we recommend 1 year's current affair minimum. That is the minimum you can do. But if you start a little more earlier, say for example, our pinnacle batch students are there who will be giving their attempt in 2027. So should we start right away with current affairs? Start. What will happen is by the time you are actually walking into 2027 prelims, you will already be having the exposure to the current affairs of last 2 years. Knowingly, unknowingly, you would have accumulated so much amount of data if you follow this procedure. That is, from newspaper, collecting only the data, facts, places, then reading the monthly current affair compilation. Done. Then 20 questions comes for prelims, at least 10 you will be able to answer. Getting the point here? Moving on. So what if you don't have time at all? Because initially, everybody will have time because GS would have just started. But eventually once, maybe one subject, say for example, for our pinnacle batch students, currently polity is ongoing. But later, from the second month onwards, one more GS subject will get added. Many who would have taken up the optional classes, even that will also start. For many, it would have started already. Optional will be there. So let us say 2.5 hours of polity, 2.5 hours of another subject, then around 2 to 3 hours for your optional. We are easily looking at some 7 to 8 hours gone there. Then you need to revise these 3 subjects. Even if I keep 1 hour per subject also, that is 10 hours gone there. Then to read the newspaper, then to take down the facts, then again read monthly current affair compilation, find time to revise it. Not so easy. And generally when the class will start increasing, and later even CSAT also can get added into this. So what happens here is, the timetable or schedule alone is enough for many people where they won't get the time, or where they will basically say that I'm not finding time to revise these things. I'm not going to read the newspaper anymore. Let it be. Let me focus on these subjects first. It is not a bad idea that you will focus on these things and you will ignore the newspaper, because here at least you know what will come. The predictability here is on a higher level compared to what may or may not come from a newspaper. So can't blame a student also when the student finally decides, especially around December, January, they will finally come to the conclusion, no more time now. I need to study. I cannot waste time on newspaper. They'll focus on these things. Some of them who are unable to read the newspaper, what they will try to do is they will try to go for daily news analysis, DNA. Because they feel within 45 minutes at least I'll quickly get to know what are the major news. But again, the issue is you're just getting reports of what has happened. There is nothing, and you're not reading it by yourself. You're just listening to somebody. So what happens? There is retention, analysis. To an extent, it is suffering. To an extent. So DNA also, when you see, initially people will feel a little interest towards it. Later they will feel it's not serving any purpose. Then what will I do? So this is where now PW and myself, we have decided that we will start with a weekly current affair compilation. Current affair news analysis, not compilation, news analysis I would call it. Starting from 2nd July. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. whatever major news transpired in that 1 week, complete analysis of it. That is, whatever facts has to be covered from there, that will get covered. Whatever analysis has to be made from it based on data, even that will be done of 1 week's news. So once you get exposed to it, even you will have an idea what to expect from your monthly current affair compilation. So you don't have to worry about, okay, what data will I pick? What data should I remember from this? Where should I note this down? All these confusions gets resolved. We have also decided that here we will be keeping MCQs. We will be giving the mains analysis. And the best part here it is, this we will be going live in YouTube. So it is again an initiative meant for all. And obviously, because it is live in YouTube, what is the other advantage? You can ask your questions. Getting the point here? So this is another choice left to you. If you're already reading the paper, you're already an expert, you have already into civil service since this is your second or attempt, third attempt, whatever. Can you attend this live course? Definitely. This live series you can also attend. Because ultimately, the point here is, you want to remember and recollect something easily, or do you want to mug it up to the point where you get confused? Is this value belonging to that theory or that theory? Should I put it here? No. The analytical part is given to you ready-made, so that this you can apply in any paper. It is like I am giving you the bullets. All you have to do is aim and shoot. I am giving you the bullets for GS paper 1, GS paper 2, GS paper 3, and to an extent even in your GS paper 4. All based on the basis of what? From the current affairs from 1 week. All of that for free in YouTube. 1 week's on Wednesday. From 2nd July. That is starting next week. From 7 PM onwards. Getting the picture here? So this is the idea. So this we have decided especially not just for our first time aspirants, second time aspirants. This is generally for everybody out there who wants to know, okay, this much things happen. So finally what? Aage kya? That aage kya is the question always. So we have weekly compilation coming up for you. Clear, people? So this is the other way. Once again, people, this is my official Telegram channel. Any suggestions you have, any comments or queries you have, you may post it over here. In addition to this, you may send in your answers in the PY from 2013 PYQs in the PDF format for the subjects of public administration, all the 4 GS and essay. So what do you think about our new initiative? Do you think it is going to be useful, or do you think you need to make some suggestions or changes? You know where to reach out to me. All right. Looking forward to you. And I hope this video here pretty much cleared all your doubts with regard to how to prepare current affairs. Any further queries please put it up in the comment section. God bless. Take care.